Hey, what's up, bitches? It's SNipEz. Welcome back to Stadium Part 4. So, you might notice from as soon as the video started, right here we have one side of the stadium basically done. The reason for this is so you can see what the stadium's actually going to look like altogether. We're going to start working on the other side. So, basically, all the materials that you're going to need for this part, basically all you're going to need is stone, glass panes. I'm going to use some swiftness, and then we might get to the stone slabs, all depending on how long it takes to make all this stuff. To make stuff a little bit shorter, I did do some of it just because a lot of it's just a lot of repetitiveness, and so you're going to be doing this over and over again. So you might notice these lines right here. So the way this works is you would take your stone, and so from this top level where the floor is going into the stadium, all I did was I made a line going over here, and that's where I made my line, and then I made it follow the outline of the one up above that we made in part 3. And you just keep doing this going all the way back down, and they should be all in the same line. So even this floor down here, when I make a line, if I take the stone out and make a line of it, it should be even with this stone right here, and that's exactly what we want. And so what we're going to do is you're going to do this on all 3 floors. And so I already did the first 2 to save some time because, like I said, a lot of it's just the same thing over and over again. And so what we're going to do is I'm just going to start from over here. And you're going to go all the way around the stadium doing this. So I'm starting from over here. The best way to do this is you just look up and you just do it like this. And just turn it as so. Just make sure it's basically the same, on the same line as the one up above. Or if you're doing it from bottom to top, it doesn't really matter which way you do it. Well, alright, let's do it that way. And so you do have to be careful about which ones you place because you don't want to place the wrong ones. Alright, so you might notice that some of these don't have the diagonal piece, like I'm doing it like this. Doesn't really matter. Only reason I was doing it earlier before, when I first started off, is because we're actually going to be placing those eventually. I can't play. Damn you. Alright, so like I said, this is the reason why I'm doing only one line of this. It's just because it is time consuming. It's not too bad, but it's just very repetitiveness. A lot of repetitiveness to this. And so I'm trying to save you guys time so we can actually get more done in the video, which hopefully you guys like because I know this video hasn't been posted for a while. The reason for that is college started back up, and so I've been really busy with classes and everything like that. And that's why Airport Part 6 hasn't been uploaded yet, and that's why this one was delayed a little bit more than the first 3. So that was the main reason why this video took so long, is just because college started back up, trying to get used to all my new classes, and so hopefully I can get back on my pattern. So I have Mondays off, so I'm going to try to start recording ahead of time. So if I am really busy during the week, I can actually post the videos still. Alright, that one's right. Okay, now we turn it to 1. Oh. Okay, whew, it is extremely hot in my room, and my fan is on low because I don't want a fan noise in the background. I guess you could say I got a fan. Aha, I get it, because, yeah. Okay, so let's keep doing this. Alright, so we should only have a couple more to do. Whew, it is so hot in my room. Because you have to imagine, I have an Xbox on, a computer on, and 2 monitors, and 1 TV on. So I have a lot of stuff on, which creates a lot of heat, especially when it's all in basically the same vicinity. So, okay, so now that we have that, after you have all 4 done, we're going to take out our stone slabs, and we're actually going to do this first because it's going to save us some time in the long run. So you want to come to this, whatever side of the stadium you want to do this first on. And like I said, we're going to take out our stone slabs. And then you might notice that we have like all these tiny sections, and they keep getting smaller as we go down the line and closer to the corner of the stadium. So what we're going to do, we're going to take out our stone slabs, and we're going to play on 4 in a row on one section and have it come out for us. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then have it come all the way over to the other side of this little tiny section over here. Alright, so what we're going to do, you're going to do the same thing. So with the next section, you come out 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the easy way to do this without having to count each time is you just come one diagonal, which is how it should work. So each section should be diagonally 1. When you get to the corners, it's a little bit different because it's a little bit, I don't know how to describe it. Since it's a corner, it's slightly different, but it's not hard at all to do. You just have to make sure you do it right, so it would actually be symmetrical to all the other sides. Alright, let's turn it again. Oof. Alright, so we're almost done with these, so you're going to go all the way around the stadium doing this. Alright, so this, once you get to the section with 2, that's where you're going to stop. So we have one more section to do after this one. So this one right here where it has 2, we're going to stop it here after we do this one. And now what we want to do, we want to come to the side area now and do the same thing for the same pattern. You'll see why we're doing this and why we came over to this side here in a second. And the reason for this, it will actually help with the corners, just getting everything lined up. That's why I'm doing it. Whoa, I messed up. Oh, I actually did have it right. Okay, this one will make him out 3. I thought I messed up for a second. I would have been pissed. Alright, so let's keep doing what we've been doing this entire time. So keep doing this. Blah, 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 blah. Sheep! And so we don't have too many more to do since the sides are a lot shorter. Oh man. I wish I could turn my fan on high. I'm doing it for you guys. I'm toughing it out. Okay, so you might notice from here on we have a section that has 3. Ooh. Well, that's not right. Oh, okay, so I messed that one up. Whew, I was worried. Let's do this one more. Now we can do it. Just like this. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're just going to make diagonal pieces coming all the way across the other ones until you have one block left, just like this. That's how it should look. And so you want to do this with every single corner. So now we're going to fill all these in. So you can do it, just fill them all in when you're doing them, but just to save a little bit of time, I just made the boxes first, and then I can always come back and fill them in later. Yeah, I'm going to try to get a schedule going for Skyblock and stuff like this. So as you guys know, I have videos, house videos every Wednesday and Friday. What I actually want to do is have like survival or Skyblock every Tuesday. Wednesday would be a house. Friday would be a house like usual. I'm not sure what the other days would be. It all depends on what I have going on. I do have a couple of series in mind that I want to get started, but in order for that to happen, I got to get all my friends that I record with back online so we can actually start working these things out, because I'm not too entertaining sometimes, and so my friends like TT Crown, Weeby Stranger, Fraggle, they help me out with the videos, and having more than one person in a video actually helps, because it's not just you talking. For tutorials, it's great. I did find out it's extremely hard to do tutorials with 2 people. I will say me and Crown tried to do a house video one time, and it was probably the ugliest house I've ever made. And so we actually scrapped it, and that's when the modern brick house actually came out in replacement to that. And so I guess it's a good thing, because that video has like, I don't know how many views. It has like 500,000, I think, which is an extremely good amount. So let's do this section over here. One more section to go. Alright, let's do the same thing with these over here, and then we'll be done with our slabs for now. I mean, at least for the most part. We have a couple more things to use them for, but basically this is the main thing we're going to be using them for the stadium. This is actually the first time I've made the actual outside of a stadium. So I have made a couple stadiums in the past, as you guys know, because I keep mentioning it in the future parts of this. And so this is actually the first stadium I've actually made full on the outside, and this one is actually the best looking one I've done, because I've started the outside of a stadium before, but I'd never finished it. And so I'm actually really excited to get this done. So hopefully you guys like the design of it. It actually took a lot of time to come up with it, just trying to make sure it looks nice and make sure it's symmetrical. That's probably the hardest part about making stuff like this, is making sure it is symmetrical, just because if you mess up one thing, it can actually ruin the entire build. So sometimes you have to be careful with that, but hey, so now all of our slabs are done. So if we have a overview of it, so let's fly up real quick. Boom. You can see all, well, you can't really see him, damn it. Now you can see him. Now you can see him going all the way around the stadium, which is exactly what we want. So let's sleep real quick, which I think I put a bed over here. Whoop, bed. Nap time, nappy time, nap time. Come on. There we go. Oh, I'm caught in a fence. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take out our stone and we're going to come to the long side of the stadium. What we're going to do is take out our stone. So you see this big long piece in the middle right here? What we're going to do is make this a plain wall. So have it come all the way up to the ceiling, where it's the roof. And it's going to make this a big plain wall, and you'll see why. Because this is where the stadium name is going to go. There's not too much room. I think I fitted 3 letters, and that's just my initials for my channel. So I just put MCB on here. So I would suggest only put in like either no more than 3 letters, just because it's kind of hard to fit all of more than 3 letters, depending on how big you make them in this little wall. So I mean, if you make a bigger stadium, this wall would be bigger, so it all depends on how big you make the stadium, I guess. That has something to do with it as well. Alright. So we're still getting around to this. This wall shouldn't take too long. You can actually see in there, I actually kind of started the, what's it called? The underground tunnel, but I actually haven't made it yet. Because I realized, oh yeah, I need to make that part of the video, so I actually covered a lot of it back up. So we will begin to that. Hopefully, we might go at the end of this part and do that after we get done with this. So we'll see. All depends on what we have going on. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. Alright, so we have a couple more to go. Whew. So hot. Alright, so let me go look at the other wall just to be safe. I want to make sure I made this right. Yep, okay, so I did do it right. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to keep out our stone. And we're going to make a pillar going down. So the way this pillar is going to work, you're going to come to either side, the right or left. Doesn't really matter which one you start on, because you're going to do it to both sides. And on the third block away from that side, you're going to make a pillar going all the way from the top, going all the way down. And you want to replace the block of stone slab there, and then do the same thing with the other side as well. Okay, so now we have that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make a whole bunch more pillars. So the way this is going to work is basically the same way on the third block this time though, or I guess on the fourth block you're going to make the pillar. And since our stadium is an odd number, we should have a middle piece when we actually shrink this into the middle. Boom. Alright, one more pillar, and here we go. Now we have our pillars made. So that's what that should look like. And so I guess there is one more thing we should do before we actually do this, and we should probably finish the underside wall of the stadium. So the way this works is I'm trying to think of how to describe this. So if we look at the slabs here closest to the outside of the stadium, the wall is going to start 2 blocks away, so on the third block. So you should have it come all the way across. When you get to here, you're going to just keep going all the way around doing this. Hopefully that makes sense. It's on the third block away from the outside slab of the stadium. I mean, I don't know really how to describe that, so I'm sorry if it was a bad explanation, but it was just something kind of hard for me to describe on how to do that. So keep doing this. Oh, I never did fill these in. So basically all you're going to do is go all the way around the stadium doing this, and you're going to stack it up going all the way from the slabs, going all the way down to the stadium floor. Alright. So let's just fill these in, because I don't like having unfinished stuff. It's like a biggest pet peeve I have, like just not finishing stuff. Even though I have a lot of stuff unfinished. I think I counted all my worlds together the other day, and I have 70 worlds, I believe. So I think over 70 actually. So I do have a lot of worlds that I use. I'm actually starting up a new city. Some people that are on my friends list right now have probably seen it. And my goal is to make the most realistic city I have made personally. You guys might know that I've made another city in the past. I've kind of made two. Oh, alright, really? Fuck you, pig. Fuck you, you pink prick. Messed me up. Now I need to replace this. Oh, look, that was extremely hard. Sorry about the language, guys. Pigs, they're just irritating. Alright, so, yeah, back to the city. And so, I've actually made 3 cities altogether. Only one is close to finished. I kind of stopped working on it because it wasn't a realistic city, I guess, is the best way to say it. And the best way, I like making nice stuff, and all those buildings I made on my original city weren't really big enough to have actually like floors in them, and so that's the whole point of having this new city, is all the buildings will be big enough to put floors in them eventually. But the way it's working now is I'm making the roads, I'm making cars for the roads, and of course I'm making the buildings. And so after the structure of the building is done, and probably after all of that is done, I will make the floors to the buildings, but the floors will be going in last. But basically this, I almost said stadium. This city I'm making now is meant to be the most realistic one I've made and the prettiest one I've made. That might sound pretty gay, but whatever. And so I just want a really nice looking city. It's going to have really nice looking buildings. I believe I have 5 buildings made on it so far, so I'm not too far in it at all, but I only started it like 2 days ago. And the funny thing that actually, the way that's, I keep wanting to say stadium, I guess because I'm actually working on the stadium. But the way the city actually came about was I was going to make a map for download that was all my houses put in order, kind of like in a city format where you have roads going down them. But then I thought, I haven't made a city in a while, so I started making a city. So my friend put it the best way. He was like, only you would do the hard thing when most people just do the easy thing. I was like, yeah, I guess. But just the overall feeling of seeing what you've made after it's all complete is one of the best feelings. I mean, hopefully that makes sense, because I love making stuff like this, because I love seeing the end result, especially of a stadium like this, because this is by far one of my favorite builds. And a lot of people have been asking for a stadium, so hopefully you guys are liking it. So we only have one more layer to go. Alright. Whew. Alright. 1, 2. 1, 2, 2. 2. Oh, my throat is killing me. I already had my Dr. Pepper. I almost had Mountain Dew. I almost had my Dr. Pepper. But it's already gone. So you guys don't get the hyper snipes right now. Sorry. I'll try to hold on to the hyper snipes. Oh, man. Alright, really big. Out of all the times you have to walk across, at least look both ways before you walk in front of me, you pink prick. God, what an ass. I mean, ass is actually a donkey, but still. Alright, one more layer to go, and then this will be done. So a lot of this video is just making the outside of the stadium, which is what a lot of people want. So, you guys will have homework after this video, because there's something that I want you guys to do for the next video. And it's not like it's really hard, it's just making the roof, because we made the roof for the actual stadium itself, but we didn't make the roof connecting the stadium to the outside walls, and that's what the homework's going to be, just because I don't want you guys watching me building a boring ass, basically a big ass floor or roof, whatever you want to call it. So, I'm cussing a lot in this video, I'm sorry, man. This is coming out of me today. It's coming out. I'm not funny. Okay, so now that we have that, so let me go look at the other side real quick. So the doors are going to be basically in the same, okay. So now we're going to make the doors leading into the stadium. So the pillars for the doors are actually in the exact same spot as the ones up above. So just make them here, down below, Just make sure they're in the same spot. And so we should have, I believe, 4 or 5 doors. I think it's 4 all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. So you have 5. Not too bad. Whew. Alright. So now what you want to do is... Are we on the edge? Okay, yeah, we are on the long side. For some reason, I thought we were on the short side for a second. Yeah, I think they're basically about the same. Whatever. So what we're going to do, we're going to make pillars now. So the way these pillars are going to work, on these sections, the one closest to the corner is where you're going to make the pillar. So as you can see, I'm making it on this one going all the way up to the ceiling. I'm going to come back down and start the next one right here. So you're going to do this going all the way to the corner. And the reason we're doing this is for a little bit more support, even though these blocks are floating in the air, because it's like magic. It's like, woo, we're doing magic stuff. And so it just gives it a little bit more look to it as well. Okay. Boom. Alright, let's see. So once you get to... Hold on, let me finish this pillar. Oh, let me go up one more. Let me go look at something real quick. I think we make one more pillar here. One, I need to finish this pillar. Whoopsie daisies. Alright, let's make sure I get this one right. Alright, so the way this is going to work, so you might notice the thing I was looking at was these corners are solid pieces. They're not windows, they're not anything like that. So the way this is going to work is once you get to the corner and you see this block right here that has 3 wide, we're going to make this a plain wall going all the way over to the other 3 wide block. So let's go down. Let's do this again. This shouldn't take too long. You're going to do this with every single corner, by the way, because again, this stadium is symmetrical. So I know a lot of you guys don't know what that means. I'm just kidding, because you guys are extremely smart, because the internet's always smart. And so we're going to do this with every corner just so everything looks the same. And then we are going to add a little bit more design to them, which hopefully you guys will like. Alright, now let's make our last pillar right here. We're not making this a plain wall, we're just making a pillar here. Alright, let's take some more swiftness, just to be safe. Alright, so we're going to do one more thing before we end this video, because we're already at, what, 22 minutes, I believe? And so what we're going to do, you see where we have the floors here, what we're going to do is, we're going to make these a little bit wider, so if we come over to the other side, there we go, finally on the other side. See how these are a little bit wider? This is where the original wall that we made, or line, whatever you want to call it, and we moved it down 3, and same thing with all the other ones. And so the way this works is you're going to come over to your other side, and we're just going to move these down. I won't say move them down, but just add another layer of 3. So if you don't know if you have this right, if you made the stadium exactly the way I made it, you should have 5 blocks of headroom to work with on each floor, besides the very top floor, because there's the roof there. Oh man, my throat is really dry. I really wish I had that Dr. Pepper. Womp. A lot of people were saying I should make a Dr. Pepper monument, which might be interesting. Maybe I could do that in my city instead of like a Statue of Liberty, which if you guys don't live in America, I'm not sure if you guys know what that is or not. Basically just a big statue of, I mean, it's a big statue basically. I can make that and just make it out of Dr. Pepper. Like, make a Dr. Pepper bottle. Yes. I might do that. Because I am thinking about making a river on my new city. Whew, I gotta move around a little bit. Whew. I feel like I've just been running like 3 miles about how hot it is in my room. My legs are sweating. His legs are sweating. Arms are heavy. Oh. Oh, did I do that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I made these 2 wide. Let's do this. I'm just going to do this to the side. You're going to do this on all the way around the stadium, by the way. I'm just gonna do this on this side just to save a little bit of time. We can get to the sides in the next video. This video is basically just working on the front of the stadium. Whew. Alright, so we set to do it on this layer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. Now let's make these going all the way down. I should probably go sleep so you guys can see a little bit better. Even though I don't think it's too dark. My game is up a decent amount. I think it's at like 89%, maybe even higher than that. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, so what do you guys think about the Minecraft going to the PlayStation Network? Do you guys like that? Leave a comment down below. I think it's a good thing. I mean, I'm not sure if 4J is going to make it or if another company is going to make it. I guess we'll find out later. But, I mean, I guess it's a good thing. At the same time, I wish it wasn't, because that's what made Xbox so much special when it came to Minecraft. It was only for the 360. It was like an exclusive, but now since it's going to the PS4, I don't know. I might have to get a PS4 to play it on that. Who am I kidding? I'm not getting a PS4. I'm always going to be an Xbox person. So, that was a funny joke. So, yeah, if you guys can leave a comment and take a guess on which console I'm going to get. Big hint, Xbox One. Psst. Alright, so what we're going to do now, on the side, so we're going to make these little lines, which if I fly over here, you can see what I'm talking about. We're going to make these lines right here. And so the way this works is, let's fly over to this side so you can see, it's going to be on the last layer of this wall and on the top layer of that wall. And so we're going to start that. Really easy to do. Only takes a couple seconds. So we're going to make... Oh, did I make that one right? I just made this one too short. Alright, so we're going to do this. Just going just like this. Now let's move it up one. So we should have a gap of 2 in between these lines. Now let's go up to this top floor here. Do the same thing. Just like this. And then there we go. So that's basically all we're going to do for part, what, 4? Part 4? Yeah, part 4. I'm losing track of the parts. And so in part 5, we're going to start working on the sides. So what we did on this side right here, do to this side as well. Everything's exactly the same. So you should be able to figure out how to do a lot of the stuff. These walls are here. Make sure you make them go all the way around. By the time of the next video, I'm going to have all this done. So you guys can kind of see what it looks like. Also, I did mention homework for you guys, and so basically all I want you to do is make a wall going from, not a wall, but a floor going from the edge of the stadium to the outside walls, and just fill all of it in, so it should look like this all the way around. So, thanks for watching, guys. Please rate and subscribe. Stay tuned in for part 6. I'll try not to make this next one delayed as long. Again, school has been starting up, and it's been kind of crazy, so it's been crazy. So, I'm out.